Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we are talking Lucid Motors or CCIV stock. Over the past few weeks, we have actually gotten news that this SPAC is going to be merging with Lucid Motors, and this is not the first to do so. We've had Nikola and Fisker in the past, and both have seen some pretty crazy run-ups, but there's a lot of uncertainty behind both of these stocks, mainly Nikola. We'll be doing a slight breakdown on Lucid Motors and overall what they're doing in the coming year and why they look more promising than Fisker and Nikola. Also, we're going to take a look at the chart and potentially see where we could go. Now, we have seen a massive run up over the past week, but there is something to be looked at because there is a clear trend forming, especially with the OBV as well as the stock ticker. Before we get any further, if you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below and leave a thumbs up, because without you guys, my channel could not grow. So thank you. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. I'm not going to go too in depth about Lucid Motors and the stock overall. I do plan on making a video in the future really diving in about them. I'm very excited about them and I like the stock and what they're doing. They look a lot more promising compared to the competition that's out there. Fisker, Nikola, Hyliion. Lucid Motors actually has a release date and a set delivery date for this year. Goal is spring 2021, so that's just a few months around the corner. It's looking very promising. And the way Lucid Motors is kind of separating themselves from the competition, they are going to be providing more high-end cars or high-end EV to the public. Another thing that separates them from Fisker and Nikola is that they are institutionally backed and they have a big money behind them, as well as a potential merger with CCIV. Now, this SPAC deal could be very major. There's promise behind both sides of it, the CCIV end of it and also the institutional backing. Currently, Lucid Motors is providing batteries to Formula Racing and other products like that. They are kind of shifting gears though and focusing on this direct product in 2021, and then more products coming out later in the year. The 2021 spring release will be their sedan. One of the main game-breaking things behind this stock as well that has me very excited is they want to focus on being the fastest charging EV in the game, claiming that they will be able to charge 20 minutes worth of 300 miles of driving. This is a pretty major claim and can be really hard to beat. This would really blow Tesla and other competition out of the water. I know when people are coming into EV and really asking questions about if they want to make that transition yet, especially here in America, the charging time is a big question. Lucid Motors kind of cuts that off and incentivizes a reason to be paying top dollar for their vehicles beyond just luxury. If you're like me and you take a step back and you look at the sea of EVs that are available right now and the stocks that you can be buying, we could make a giant list. Hyliion, Neo, Nikola, Fisker, Solo, XPEV, Li Auto, there's many more. I could go on, but which ones will survive? Chances are they won't all survive because we have the big names coming in as well, as far as GM and Ford and here in America. Chances are all these will not survive, especially here in America. But Lucid Motors is kind of ahead of the game. They aren't becoming public prior to having a product. This is kind of a big thing with them. So if you look at these other competitions, they didn't have a release date set, especially the year of becoming public. Lucid Motors has it already. Literally within the next 2 to 3 months, their deliveries will be available. Like I said though, I'll make another video really going in depth about the company and what they're overall all about. I just wanted to touch a little bit on why I'm excited about them and why I see a lot of promise behind them. I expect more news to come in before the end of January. Overall, Churchill Capital is looking very, very positive. Acquisition of Lucid Motors doesn't appear to just be a pump and dump like some of these other plays. I really like what they're doing and, like I said, extreme promise behind this. But let's take a look at the chart. Over the past week, we have seen a clear, massive ascent and run up on Lucid Motors or Churchill Capital, whatever you want to call it at this time. But the OBV has kind of stayed flat at this range, at this bottom level down here. As you see, we kind of broke back below it after we saw this massive run, and we kind of kept spiking, but you know, we're trending sideways now. Something I'm really looking forward to is a break or retest of this range. I want to see a touch coming in the next few days and seeing how we react to it. Another thing we can point out is that this trend line is pretty clear. We keep touching it and bouncing directly off of it. I don't think we get a touch of it before we see another run up. Another thing we could look forward to is seeing a mount and getting above that VWAP. Getting above that VWAP would really cue the buy pressure to push the stock even further, which is one thing I'm definitely looking forward to. Once we pushed above it here, we saw another massive leg up. So obviously each time it did get above it, we had entry opportunities, but you know, I was still getting a grasp of knowledge for this stock and I didn't want to just jump in or FOMO into a stock. We've had the weekend to kind of relax and look at the stock. We'll see how we open up. If we do gap down, I will definitely reevaluate how I'm looking at this stock and at least getting into it on the shorter term aspect of things. My long-term view of this over the next few months is pretty bullish, not just because they are one of the hot new EVs, because of the actual delivery date they have set here in spring coming up. This is going to be pretty bullish, and once those deliveries actually start kicking out and we start getting some numbers behind the company, either way, I see us making another leg up. So could we see some consolidation to the downside? Yes, but I would wait for a clear break of this trend before we start making moves to get into it. Now, if we start making legs up and getting above this VWAP, I would also look for some entries because chances are we start making another leg up. Also, there's a possibility that Lucid Motors still has some positive news to be giving out because they have been giving some pretty positive news here in the past few weeks. As you see, we've made a massive run up from that $10 range, almost to $20, kind of what we're seeing with most SPACs at this time. But I definitely think there's gas still left in the tank here, and a break of this bottom level OBV could really cue in some really big buy orders and show us some massive volume kicking into the stock. So the two things I'm watching is one, the OBV, two, the VWAP, and then the third thing on a longer term scale of things, I want to be watching to see if we get a break of this trend, because if we get a break of this trend, chances are we come down to this 15 to 1470 range, which is where I would be looking for some more longer term buy entries. Anything right now would be kind of be some shorter term call options. That's all I'll be trading at this level. But if we do in fact get a break of this level, as you see here, so we move up, get rejected, kind of come down, I would look for entries around this level here. This is a longer term aspect. This is just me personally. That's what I will be looking for. I see lots of resistance and support at that level. So I could definitely see us consolidating, coming down, hitting that zone. This is a longer term aspect. I'm just want to burn that into your guys' head. That's a longer term view of things. Or coming into Tuesday, we see some really good action getting above this VWAP if the market does in fact stay relatively bullish this week. I do see the market staying pretty bullish in the short-term aspect because of the inauguration of Joe Biden and kind of the blue wave coming in. I think we're going to have a lot more consistency in the market and economy overall here in America. So I think the market could stay pretty bullish on the medium to long-term side of things. But let's recap really quick. One, Lucid Motors not only is merging with CCIV, but they also have massive institutional backing by big Saudi players. That alone should keep you pretty confident if you were already in the stock, because they have two major backers right now, not just the CCIV, but the institutional backing from Saudi as well. Two, they are not like Nikola or Fisker. They actually have delivery dates set for the coming months. These aren't end of the year targets. They're actually going to be released here in the next 2 to 3 months. That alone itself is actually very bullish as well. Three, their overall goal as a platform and company, they want to be the fastest charging EV that there is, as well as being one of the more luxury end type of EVs. This is another really bullish fact. The charging alone has me very bullish and is a very important aspect to be focused on, because I think the convenience of charging is going to be a major selling point in this space. But that's just me personally. That's how I think. I could be wrong. On the long-term scale of things, I want to say a dip down to 1550, maybe even 1470. There's like a 70-cent range there. That's my longer-term entry level on this stock as well. Don't know if we'll get that on the short-term side of things, but I am having wishful thinking at this time. As far as options trading, I will be posting this in my own private Discord. The link is down below if you want access to that. So if I am getting in this trade, I'll have to post it there, but I will be making a video in the near future going over everything about this stock in more detail, posting actual information. If you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment down below. I will answer for the first 24 hours to any of the questions you guys ask. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. If you got anything out of it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, leave a thumbs up because I love you and you love your boy. That's it, guys. Namaste.